Now, dear students, we will discuss some of the design rules in our board setup. So first of all, go to board setup, and over here in the board setup you can see the third section is about the design rules. These design rules we define before we start designing our PCB. So over here the first thing is that are related to copper, which means the first thing is the minimum clearance. Minimum clearance is the clearance between two tracks that you can specify over here. Similarly, minimum track width, then there is a constraint for minimum connection width, then minimum annular width, minimum via diameter, copper to hole clearance. These are all the settings that are affected by two things. Number one, that what are your requirement for your PCB, like it's a high voltage circuit you are going to design on your PCB, or it's a high frequency circuit that you are going to design on your PCB. This is the first thing, that the electrical specifications will affect the constraints. The second thing is that if you choose any manufacturer um, for fabrication of your PCB, then you have to first of all consult with the manufacturer to see their capabilities, that how much minimum clearance they could have between two tracks, or between the minimum track width they can make on fabricate the PCB with the minimum track width. So these constraints are affected by the electrical specification of your PCB of your circuit. And the second thing is these are also affected by your fabricator, by the capabilities, manufacturing capability of your fabricators. So after the copper settings, there is a hole setting, minimum through hole, hole to hole clearance, then micro vias, minimum micro via diameter, minimum micro via hole, then the silk screen settings. And over here you can see arc circle approximated by segment, maximum allowed deviations, similarly zone field strategy, and length tuning. These are all the constraints that you need to set before you are going to design your PCB. The next thing in the design rules is the predefined sizes. Predefined sizes help us to quickly edit the properties of any of the item. Let's say if this is the track width, I can even add some of the predefined sizes, like I can have a track that could have 1 mm width, and let's just add another one that could have a 1.5 mm width. And in this way I can predefine some sizes of the track, that in my circuit I can have 1 mm, 1.5 mm. And similarly, if I want to choose some vias, like if I click on this, let's say I want to choose a via that have an outer diameter of 1 mm, the diameter of 1 mm, and should have a hole of 0.5 mm. And let's just add this, and let's say I want to choose another via that should have 1.5 mm diameter and should have hole size of 0.75 mm. Similarly, I can add settings related to differential pair. Let's say if I want to add differential pair that should have a width, let's say of 1 mm, and let's say a gap of 2 mm, and a via gap of 2 mm. These are just numbers that I'm going to just add, that how you predefine your sizes of tracks and vias and differentials pair in the KiCad. So over here I have defined these settings. So let's try how to use these while designing the PCB. Let me hit OK to save these settings. In order to use this, let's say I am going to add a via. Over here this is add freestanding via. Click on this and you will be able to add via on your PCB. Click on the PCB, let's zoom in, let's hit escape, click on this and go to its properties. And in the properties you see over here a section of predefined sizes. As we have defined some of the properties of the via in the predefined sizes section of the design rule, simply click on this. You will see that we have defined two type of vias that has 1 mm diameter, 0.5 inner diameter, and 1.5 mm outer and 0.75 inner diameter. So let's say I want to set the setting to this. Click on this, hit OK, and you have a via that has been assigned a predefined sizes. Let's say I want to add another via. Click over here and let's click on this cursor to leave the tool and click on this, go to its properties, and let's choose over here. Let's say I want to choose this predefined sizes and hit OK. So in this way, predefined sizes helps us to easily adjust the settings of our components that of the tracks vias that we add in our PCB. So let's go to board settings to see further what the KiCad has to offer for us. Then the next thing in net classes, over here you can add net classes like say by default every net is every track should have every track should have a net, and every net should have a net class. By default every net has a net class with the name default. You can change it. Let's say I want to have a net class of let's say of a track that has 10 ampere current, and let's say I have clearance of same clearance, but I want to have a track width of 1 mm, let's okay 2 mm, and via side let's just take into consideration only track width. I'm just doing this for understanding purpose. Now we have defined a net class that is named 10 ampere. Now you can do net class assignment. Let's say let's click on this. Let's say I have a net of AC or you can say AC voltage, and the track that is associated with this should have a rating or a width that should have the capability to withstand 10 ampere current. So I simply will go over here and will add this class to this. It means that the net with the VAC will be connected with the 10 ampere, and the properties of this net will be the same as these are. So in this way you add a net class and you assign your net class to the pattern. So the next thing is the custom rules. You can define over here some of your custom rules. And the next section in design rule is the violation severity. Over here, when we perform design rule check on your PCB, the design rule check will check these all things, that which thing we have specified as error, which thing we have as warning, and which we have specified to ignore that thing. So over here in the electrical section, we have specified that these are errors, these are warnings, these are errors. You can change this as per your requirement, but it is preferable to keep these settings as they are by default in the KiCad. So hope you have understood the board setup, and in the board setup the design rules. The most thing that needs very great attention is the constraints in your KiCad. So simply hit OK to save your setting. Now you can design draw your PCB with the predefined settings in the board setup.